teams that I think will be under pressure are under the most pressure after the first test. 3 teams are going to be on here, just saying. Yeah, basically the teams that just had the worst first test and yeah, are under pressure to perform. So yeah, number one is the least one that's under pressure, Alpine, because basically last year, so they're always going to be under pressure. Also, they have the Mercedes engine, so like some other teams, they literally have no excuse on why they can't beat someone good. Like they have no excuse. They're one of those other teams that basically build out of 2095 to put hope into this year. So yeah, they have no excuse at all. They have 2 solid drivers, no excuse. No excuse. I mean, they surely can't do worse, right? But yeah, I'm saying basically just no excuse for this team. Because their one excuse is gone, so. But yeah, now we're moving on to the next team. We all know who it is. It's not the other A team. Williams. They missed the test. They missed the first test in Spain, which is pretty embarrassing after hyping up for so long. But they did okay at the first Bahrain test. They did pretty good. But I still think they're under pressure because we know those times don't really mean anything. Also, people saying they're underweight overweight or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. And once again, they basically have no excuses. They've been preparing for a while. They have two of some of the best drivers on the grid. Well, Carlos at least, but yeah, they literally have like Alpine don't really have excuses. Other than I guess funds, but it doesn't matter when you have funds if you're like boasting about this the entire time. It just like doesn't really make sense. But yeah, they're another team who's under pressure. Just to be good, be somewhat as good as they said they would be or want to be. That's all they really have to do. But anyways, our final team, the team under the most pressure in 2026 so far. Okay, this one's gonna be obvious. It is. Alright, we all know. Aston Martin. Team under definite the most pressure. They're slow. Everything seems to be wrong. First of all, in Barcelona testing, they roll up with the most aura, all black car, engineering designs you can see, and they break down after 5 laps. Was it 5 or 4 laps? It might have been 4 laps, even worse. Then they come out again, they break down again, and then in Bahrain, they're just slow, which is just surprising and embarrassing. Like, all that hype, they were hyped more than freaking Williams, dude. And right now they're looking like last. Like, and just like Alpine, they have zero excuses. I guess I'm not sure, but there's the reason they keep them. But they have Alonso, one of the best drivers. They have Honda, the proven best power unit. They have freaking Adrian Newey. So it's like, what on earth is wrong? Like, they have the best engineers, the best facilities, and they just cannot get it right. And yeah, it sucks for Alonso's third championship hope. Hope that another win. But yeah, to have the best stuff and still suck. I said, you're having more reliability issues. They can barely get laps on the board. That's like the most embarrassing thing. That it's even more embarrassing. New teams like Cadillac now, yes, they've had their issues. Of course they do. They're new teams. But they've still gotten more laps than Aston Martin will ever get. This is embarrassing. Two teams that came from the ground up are doing better than you in terms of reliability, in terms of just being a functioning team. And this is a team that we said would win the championship this year. Remember, hey, they can come away from this. Like, teams that have bad testing and, been good. But yeah, not for the team that says they're wanting to be the best. This is very underwhelming. But yeah, that's just a quick video on who I think's under the most pressure. Yeah, that's basically gonna wrap it up. Testing's this week, so that's great. Again. But yeah, hopefully you guys